Hello everyone! So, earlier this month, I got a little bit obsessed with Clangen, or Lifegen, specifically switching out sprites to make my own sprites and throw them into the game. So this is SockGen, based on the sock rabbits, or rather sock cats, that I make. They're little plush animals living out in the wilderness, or they're living in a room. However you want to frame it. I personally frame it as like stuffed animals that are just alive enough to be able to die and stuff. But they could also be stuffed animals, go alive Toy Story style, getting really invested in the roleplay of being warrior cats. Or go even further, and it's a kid playing with the stuffed animals pretending they're warrior cats. Either way, it's a fun little way to play with the game. Everything is played completely straight because I didn't want to mess with the coding. And some of the accessories are a little broken because I ran out of steam near the end, but I could probably pop back in. Missing half of the white spotting. Half of the torty marks are all set with the cats, but there's still some torty marks left in there. That's a long way of saying it is in a playable state right now, and I have it in both the Lifegen chat and the Clangen chat. Just look through the mods for like Sock Cat, and you should find it, and they have like the 1.1 folder available to download there. And to showcase this mod, I'm going to be playing a Lifegen Legacy Challenge, where I start off with the first cat, we follow them through their life, and then I reincarnate into their kid, or nephew, niece, depending on how young the youngest member of that family is. And then just continue on until I feel like that the story is solved itself. So maybe like 4 generations. And I am learning from my mistakes. We are doing this all in one shot, because you can really speed through moons and moons of life in Lifegen. You know, because sometimes being an apprentice is actually pretty boring, or nothing really happens, maybe some kits. My rule for this, though, is that, like, if the cat in question that I'm controlling dies before they can have kits, then I am reviving them. I don't care how many times it takes. So they'll probably be pseudo-invincible until they have the kits, and then it's fair game. So let's do a quick rundown of Dust Clan before our protagonist Emerald Kit gets born. First up is Piper Star, who is a adult female with blue eyes and torty, you can tell by the patching, and she is careful and has natural intuition and is a good guard. And I was like, when I first saw her in this clan, I was like, oh hell yeah, one of my patching jobs that I did is in there. Nice. Then we got Heather Stripe, who is a young adult male, who is shameless and prophecy seeker and team player. He's a mackerel tabby, and I made that like the half stitch. He gets a missing tail at some point, but because my missing scars sheet was busted, I didn't tweak it, because there's a way to do it when you're masking stuff, and for some reason, a missing leg would just make them vanish, and I still don't know how to fix that. I'll figure it out later. And then we have our medic, Droplet Whistle, who is a young adult male, who is reserved and a great tunneler. Then we have Slumberpaw, troublesome Nightmare Soother and Omen Sense person, that's pretty cool. Gold Dream, male adult, Nightmare Soother, Prophecy Seeker, careful. Oreo Bumble, female, pale blue eyes adult, and is loving and Sun High Log. I've never seen that. Anyway, Chevril Drizzle is a female adult, gold eyes, and she's a vengeful and item stasher and great kit sitter. Cool. Then Green Jay, who actually has white spotting that someone contributed in the Clangen chat, because I was like, hey, can I get some help? And they made like 5. And this is the first cat that I had seen in my random playthroughs to get this white spotting since putting it in the game. He looks cool. He's a Nightmare Soother, good teacher, and fierce. And he ends up being my dad. Piper Star ends up being my mom. So like the cool 2 cats that I pointed out right at the beginning became my parents, and that's very cool. Then we have Buzzard Paw, who is sneaky, active as imagination, and she's got a bit of the torty spotting, like the ones that I didn't edit. Got Brave Web. Got some of the stripy white spotting. Very cool looking. Frost Kit. All of the kits. Kits have no determination of, like, what sort of markings they're going to end up having, because they're like birds. They got, like, a downy fluff thing before they grow up and they lose it, and then they get colors, as you saw with the Apprentice. And they also hatch from eggs, so they're kind of like platypus, I guess. And then we got Cosmos Kit. Looks for trinkets, know it all. He's Rosette. And that's about it, so let's get this clan started. As previously stated, Emerald Kit is born to Piper Star and Green Jay, and he has a sibling, Breeze Kit, who is this little green kitten. And we don't know what color he's gonna end up being, because I purposely didn't look at it. Like, I know what kittens grow up to have what colors, but I also did it, like, first, second week of July in, like, a haze, so I don't totally remember who grows up with what. So anyone new playing this is gonna have even less idea. And our kithood is pretty uneventful, although Piper Star does something controversial that the clan does not like. Well, like, half the clan seems fine with it, but there's still cats that are still not happy, and Green Jay, King, is defending Piper Star so hard. Like, he loves his wife so much, and he's just like, hey, why don't you say it again? Say it to her face. If you're not going to support her, then why do you even call yourself part of this clan, coward? Even Breeze Kit was a little bit like, why is everyone so mean to Mom? They should just make their own clan. That's not nice. Oh yeah, Shovel Drizzle gets killed at some point, but that's not relevant to Emerald Kit. Anyway, Piper Star does eventually reverse the decision, and now I feel like she has an anxiety disorder from all of this. Or just anxiety in general. She is careful after all. Our apprenticeship is also pretty boring. We did get a new cat, Aiden, and Aiden immediately becomes an elder and survives carrying place disease, which is impressive. Heather Stripe brought in a new kit. Emerald Paw hangs out with his dad and brother, and they just generally have a good time. Then Aiden finds an abandoned kit and names it Rowing Kit. She's very cute. As well as an apprentice-aged loner, Hollypaw. This will become relevant later. There's 2 breezes. And also Buzzer Feather died, which is a real shame, because they had a very cool pelt. She has a very cool pelt, rather, and I sincerely think she would have made very cool kits. Anyway, and finally, Emerald Cry gets his warrior name, but it's going to be a hot minute before he actually becomes warrior, because he is only 10 moons old. There's some conflict with Piper Star and Heather Stripe. Heather Stripe loses their tail, that's where it happens. And then Hollypaw becomes Holly, and finally we get to see Emerald Cry's warrior sprite, which is the nervous long hair one, and I think that one is cute. And then we get Breeshine with the same sit-down sprite as his dad. So there's like a couple other things that happen, but now Emerald Cry is ready to be a warrior, ready to have kits, ready to have some cool accessories, honestly. Like, the red collar looks great on him. But finally, we're adults, and But finally, we're adults, so we can get kits going, and he can do other things besides kit stuff. Yay! And because I have the unknown second parent thing on, I can just trigger that, and it could be literally anyone who could just bring in kits. Although when I saw this notification, after doing the requesting kits toggle button thing, I was like, oh, she must have also gotten kits from some random guy out in the wilderness somewhere. So my brain went, oh, that didn't work the first time. So I did it again. Also, this medic stuff happened. It's not super relevant anyway. So Emerald Cry brings in 4 kits. And then Holly has 2 kits with Emerald Cry. Like, completely platonically. Like, they're not, like, in any sort of romantic thing. So that was like, oh. Okay. Like, I'm not complaining. We got some legacy spares for who I can reincarnate to for the next generation. And, like, ignoring the other clan drama, because we don't care about that. We only care about Emerald Cry. He continues to have kits with Holly, because evidently they got a plan going where they're completely fine being platonic, and raise the kits as friends, which is totally fine. After this one, they have at least one more litter. But during the first litter's lifetime, Green Jay died. Piper Star had another kit who looked too much like Green Jay, which, like, you're looking at him and it's like, he did not get any of Green Jay's markings or colors or anything. So I don't know where that's coming from. We did some sabotaging to Lavender Clan because I didn't realize that you could just go in like the Warrior's Den tag and mess with clans. So that's interesting. Breezeshine gets the privilege of being the first cat that I've seen with the Worm in the String replacement for the snakes that I did. So that's awesome. Hyperstar does some controversy again. Hyperstar and Slumber Chest get together. Okay. We finally get a war with Lavender Clan. Although Emerald Cry is unaffected. But what does affect us is that of the 6 combined kits that I had with both Holly and some rando, only 3 of them made it to apprenticeship. Coati Paw, Bison Paw, and Jumble Paw. None of the ones from Holly, which is sad. Then we got a second litter going, because I was paranoid that all of my kits were gonna die. So that's 4 more kits, still platonically. I think we're like is it queer platonic, where it's like, you're basically everything but romantic? They just have an arrangement, at least. They're very good friends. But clearly, StarClan just doesn't want me to have kits because Icy Kit and Bison Paw drown like a moon later. But hey, at least Jumble Noise and Coati Prickle aged up to warriors. Huzzah! I can't use them though, because they're too old. But they're cool looking. There was some Medicine Cat drama, but again, not relevant to me. This very cool lady came around. Like, she still has the torty markings that aren't from me, but they look very cool together with the patch on her head. And I tried to trigger a 3rd litter because there was a burn event that I wasn't super paying attention to, and I was like, oh my god, Emerald Cride's gonna die. I need some sort of legacy. Maybe I can hook on to, like, the newest kit or something. And my instincts were correct, because he died a moon later. So that's the end of Emerald Cry's arc. 36 moons old, the clan's 37 moons old. And of the 2 kits in the second litter that survived, I decided to go with Wet Paw, because they have the closest eyes to Emerald Cry's original Emerald Eyes. I would have loved to have the Emerald Eyes be a thing that stays through generations, but I'll also take this. So now we're playing as now 9-moon-old Wet Paw, and I'm so excited to Are You Kidding Me? Well, at least if his limb disappears, he's not gonna vanish from the sprite art. At least Breezeshine lived through the burn, so congratulations, Uncle Breezeshine.